This tutorial will show the instructor the basics of setting up a quiz in Moodle version 2. There's another tutorial for adding questions to a quiz once it is created. From your course homepage, turn Editing on and click the Activity Chooser. Click Quiz and then click the Add button. You will see this Adding a New Quiz screen, which has many settings. I will briefly explain the various options to keep this tutorial to a reasonable length. If you need more details on a setting, scroll down to the bottom and click Moodle Docs for this page to get the information that you need. Now give your new quiz a name. Adding some introductory description is optional. If you do, you can click this box to have the description show on the course page too. The timing section has controls for exactly when the quiz opens and closes. These controls are activated when you click the Enable check boxes. With these boxes unchecked, the quiz is always available, so it's best to define when it's open. You can set a time limit for taking the quiz by enabling that checkbox. And you have some options on how to handle attempts that time out or have not been submitted while the quiz is open. The grade section has settings for selecting this quiz's grade category, if you have set up grade categories, and selecting how many attempts are allowed, and selecting a grading method for determining the final quiz grade when multiple attempts are allowed. The Layout section lets you determine how the questions will display, either in order or shuffled. You can set the number of questions displayed on one screen. You don't want to make this number too big, maybe 5 questions or so, as the student's answers are only transmitted to Moodle when he clicks the Next button at the bottom of the screen. Keeping the number low means he won't have to re-enter lots of answers in the case he has a network or a power outage. The Editing the Quiz tutorial will show that the questions per page can be easily customized. For example, to allow essay questions to be 1 per page, etc. The navigation method determines whether the student must answer all of the questions in order or can freely jump around the questions. The Question Behavior section has settings for shuffling the order of multiple choice or matching responses. It also has several settings for how the student is given the feedback during the quiz. The default setting of deferred feedback is common, but if you want more information on the other choices, you will find it in the Moodle Docs for this page link at the bottom of the screen. If you allowed multiple attempts and want each attempt to build on the last, for example with a practice quiz to aid learning, you can select that by choosing Yes. The review options allow a wide range of feedback to the student at different times during the quiz-taking process. The marks, specific feedback, and general feedback are set up when a question is defined. That will be shown in the Editing a Quiz tutorial. If you choose overall feedback for the quiz, that will be set up in these settings, as we'll see in a minute. Read the help for any of these by clicking the blue icons. In the Display section, you can require the student's picture to be shown on each screen of the quiz if you click this box. This is useful in proctored exams for monitoring that the student is logged in as himself. You can set how many decimal places show in grades and how many for each question. The Show Blocks setting determines whether the normal blocks that show in the left pane are shown or hidden during a quiz. You might show them, for example, if you created an HTML block in this course that's set to show on all pages in order to provide the students with some help or reference during the quiz. In the extra restrictions on attempts section, you can set up a password that will have to be entered to take the quiz. The required network address setting could be used to force the quiz to be taken only when the student is on a specific IP address or a range of addresses, to limit it to on campus, for example. You can set it to force a delay between the first and second attempts and a separate delay for subsequent attempts. The browser security setting allows you some increase in security by forcing JavaScript on a pop-up screen. This means that the student's computer must support Java. A screen will indicate this and provide a download for him. If you have enabled overall feedback in the review options section above, you can enter the feedback text for different grade boundaries in this section. Each box has a top grade boundary, 100% for the top box, and a bottom boundary which is the same as the top boundary for the next box down. This way you can have different feedback given for different scores. You can add more feedback boxes by clicking this button. We usually don't recommend the use of groups due to complexity. The Restrict Access section allows you to set the dates that the quiz is visible on the course. Now this is separate from the dates it is open and closed that were set at the top of the screen. You can also set up grade conditions that require minimum scores on prior assignments before the quiz is made available. You can also set whether it is grayed out or hidden altogether when these conditions are not met. When the settings are what you want, click one of the Save buttons to finish the setup. The quiz will be empty at this point as no questions have been added yet. Another tutorial will show you how to add questions to a quiz and edit the quiz so that it is complete and ready to be taken. Thank you.